Hey there. Okay, so let's talk about our free 5 day groups and how we can rock it together and the steps that you would take to invite people to join you. Because sometimes there really is a formula for success in things like this. So here's the first thing that you're going to do. Take out a notebook and pen, your phone, whatever, a document online, whatever makes the most sense for you. And you're going to write down a list of everybody that comes to your mind and to your heart for this challenge. And just write their names down. Don't overthink it. Don't, say, oh, they wouldn't want to do it or whatever we might say in our heads. Just write the list. Once you have that list, really look at it and say, hey, who are the people that I could invite today? Right? And maybe it's like friends and family. And on this list, you've got people that you grew up with, people you went to school with, you went to college with, you currently work with, you've worked with before. I'm saying put everybody on this list, okay? And don't prejudge it. Then look at the list and say, hey, who could I invite today? Who am I in a constant relationship with that I could just be like, hey, I'm doing this. Would you want to do this with me? Type of thing. And, whatever, star, underline them. Then you've got that, simple invite list that you can go to. And I want you to start with that list. Because I want to make really clear that what we don't do is we don't just mass invite. I don't want you to take that list and then just click their name and invite them to our event ever. Because that's not what we're about. We're in the business of cultivating relationships and building lifestyles. And we're not going to do that by just never talking to people and inviting them to something, right? So think how you would feel about it. And I want to make sure that all of your invitations are coming from an authentic place, because otherwise it's icky, it's weird, it's salesy, it's gross, it's just, right? So make sure it's something that, you would appreciate. So it's these are people that you're in a constant relationship with, and you honestly, genuinely want to invite them to join you because you've had success doing this, you enjoy these types of challenges, and you think it'd be fun to do with them. So that's exactly what I want you to do. Is I want you to personally message them, text them, call them, wherever it is that you communicate with them on the reg, and invite them to join us. And just say, hey, a couple different ways you can do it is you can say, hey, my coach is running this group, or hey, me and my coach are running this group, or hey, I've done these groups before. However it makes sense for you, and say, yeah, I'm doing it's a 5-day nutrition challenge, and it's really cool because my coach is we are going to give you an exact grocery list, meal plan, daily recipes, and we all meet in this group for support and accountability. And it's just a fun way to get back on track. Or, I've had such success with these groups. I thought it'd be really fun to do this together. We can cheer each other on. It's way more fun to do with a friend or, my sister, whoever it might be that you're inviting. And always end with a question. That's really important. Always end with a question. So you'd be like, hey, does that sound like you could benefit from something like this? Does this interest you? Would you want to rock this with me? However your lingo is that you talk normally is how you should talk to these people. So don't overthink it. And just say, hey, yeah, I thought of you and thought maybe you'd want to do this with me. Does it sound like something you'd want to do? And so, yeah, you start with that and see what they say. And if they say yes, then you're going to send them to the event. Okay, and in the event is where we have our Google form, which is what is mandatory for the group to participate. So it's just their first sort of buy-in to the group. Their commitment to the group is they said yes, but now they have to take a next step. And you might end up weeding out some people that way. I typically have to remind people 2 and 3 times to complete the Google form. And it's mostly just because life is busy. So don't really feel like you're bothering them at that point, because once they've said yes, your job as a coach and as a friend is to follow up with them because they said they wanted to do it. So just know that there might be a couple follow-ups. So make sure you have your yeses now on a new list. You're going to send them a Google form. You're welcome to use mine. But if you're ready to take that next step in your business, there's another quick video I can show you how to create your own free 5-day Google form. You can copy and do the exact same thing I did, or you can personalize it for yourself. It takes 5 or 10 minutes. So I encourage you to take that step and just reach out to me when you're ready for that step. When you've got people in the event and you're now ready to hand them the Google form, reach out to me. We'll make sure that you know how to do that. Okay, then after that, once they have completed the Google form, you will be able to now invite them into our private group. So the group where that 5-day is happening. If you have any questions about that, just reach out to me. But you'll now invite them to that group, okay? And once we get into that group, we can talk more about what happens next as far as they will introduce themselves and how the group will run. But if somebody has a question on, yeah, I'm interested, but like, what does that mean? What does it entail? It entails feeling great, feeling healthy. But it includes getting a grocery list. We'll supply them with a grocery list. They'll have the weekend to go grocery shopping. We'll give them a prep ahead menu. So on Sunday, they can prep some of their meals for the week. So it's quicker, it's grab and go. It makes it easier for them to stay on track. It's a system that has worked for us, and we want to share that with them. Every day, they'll get the next day's menu. So as long as they are checking into the group, which is going to be the mandatory thing for them, it's checking in at the end of each night, takes 3 to 5 minutes. Of course, we would love if they have more time to throw some more love and support into the group. Makes it more fun. But basically, it takes 3 to 5 minutes, if that, to check into the group at the end of the night. We're going to have 5 questions for them to complete. As long as they check in each night, they'll get the following day's menu emailed to them. Okay, so make sure when you do create your own Google form, email is one of those questions on there, because you do need their email, so you can then email them the week's recipes one day at a time. The reason why we do that is because, again, it's sort of buy into the group. We put a lot of our time into creating these meal plans. We put a lot of our time every day, because we're going to be coaching them and holding them accountable and checking in with them, not only one-on-one, but in the group setting, seeing how they're doing every day. And we invest a lot of our time into these groups. And so their investment is filling out a Google form, taking a few minutes every night to check in on how they did, which is only going to help them with that accountability piece, which is what we provide as coaches, that accountability and support to stay on track. And then the third and final thing is that we're going to ask them to track their results, because we want to make sure that what we're doing as coaches is working, and we want them to see that if they do follow the plan, they will get results. So that is something that we can almost guarantee them. If they follow this plan, they're going to feel great and look great, probably even lose weight. And so we're going to have them track the results, and they're going to submit their before and after photos, measurements, and starting and ending weight to you, so that you can say, hey, I want to know if this works. So will you please track your results, and then let's check in on Sunday and see how you did at the end of the week, right? So we're all working together here, and that can be a scary thing, and just know that you might have to take some time around that. If people feel uncomfortable, let them know that it goes to you, it goes to nobody else. We hold them in confidence. For me, I always say, if you ever see me sharing somebody's before and after a transformation photo and story on my page, it's only because they've given me permission. So I really hold all of that sacred, and we want to make sure that they feel comfortable. But ultimately, if we don't track, we don't know if it's working. So we have to track it. And so another way that might work for you to invite some friends and family is, depending on where you're at, you might be able to say, hey, my coach has been doing this. I've had great success doing this. It's something that I'm actually considering offering and sharing, and maybe even hosting one of my own in the future. And I would love if you would participate in this group and let me know what you think. I really value your feedback. I really appreciate your support, and I would love to know what you think. So would you mind or would you be willing to participate in this challenge for me and be able to provide feedback? I really, like I said, I value your opinion and your thoughts on this, because this is something I'm really considering doing, and I'd love to know what you think. That might be a question and an invitation for some of the people that are on your list, okay? Now, what about those people that are on your list and you're like, I can't just invite them to this group? That would be weird, and it would feel salesy or icky, or even though you're not selling anything. That's something to keep in mind. But sometimes we naturally feel like that when it's new. It feels uncomfortable. And, I am going to ask you to step outside your comfort zone to do this because as a coach, that's how we grow. As people, that's how we grow. So there are going to be points in your journey where I'm going to ask you to step outside your comfort zone because I want you to grow. So those people that are like, ooh, I don't know if I could, what I'm going to ask you to do is just reach out to them. Look at their page, comment on something, like something on their page maybe, connect with them, send them a message, be like, hey, I was just thinking about you. How are you doing? Ask a question, start conversation, and then see where it goes. Maybe it'll go to, hey, I don't know if you'd be interested at all. It's always great to use a disclaimer like that, a disclaimer of like, hey, I don't know if this is your thing. I don't know if you'd be interested. I'm doing this. I don't know if this is something you'd at all be interested in doing, but this is what I'm doing. Is that something you'd want to do? Just having conversation. So that's where I'm going to encourage you to start. Let me know when you get to the Google form. Let me know if you have any questions along the way. And remember to always end your connection with a question so that they will get back to you. Okay? All right. Good luck, and I'll talk to you soon.